Welcome to today's Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here. Today, we're literally peeling back the curtain on the magical world of theater. You know, we sit in the audience, we see actors on a stage, and we applaud the finished product. But there is an entire visual and structural symphony happening right before our eyes. So we're going to peel back the layers of a theatrical performance, starting from what we see on the very surface, right down to the literary core of the story itself.
But first, let me ask you something. Why do actors paint their faces just to step on stage? I mean, in our everyday lives, most of us don't walk around with striking, exaggerated face paint, right? Yet, for a stage performer, stepping under those bright lights without it is, well, it's almost unthinkable. It's a completely different world with specific demands, and bridging our everyday life with the reality of the stage is exactly what we're going to do today.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap. First, the magic of makeup, followed by designing character costumes. Then we'll examine the proscenium stage. Finally, we'll shift into conversations and scripts and wrap up with structuring the story.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, the magic of makeup.
The sheer range of character transformation that makeup allows is absolutely wild. Just think about the contrast. On one hand, you've got this vivid, colorful fantasy style, perfect for creating entirely unfamiliar characters from another world. On the other hand, you have the bold, neutral, striking pattern of a mime. It's brilliant because it instantly tells you exactly what kind of performance you're about to see before the actor even moves a muscle.
Now, makeup isn't just about looking good, it is a hardcore practical and artistic necessity. There are 5 key reasons for this. First up, visibility and projection, making sure emotions actually reach the back row. Second, character transformation, letting an actor look incredibly old, super young, or even non-human. Third, highlighting facial expressions, so those subtle nuances aren't lost in a giant room. Fourth, and honestly this is vital, harmony with stage lighting. Stage lights are intense, right? They can totally distort natural skin tones, so makeup prevents actors from looking completely washed out. And finally, it establishes historical and theatrical styles, instantly grounding us in the specific world of the play.
Moving right along to Section 2, designing character costumes.
Think about your own wardrobe for a second. The clothes you wear to school, like a uniform, are very different from what you'd wear to a temple, right? Your everyday clothes act as a signal to the world about where you are and what you're doing. Well, stage costumes work exactly the same way, but on a hyper-focused level. While everyday clothes suit our daily routines, stage costumes are deliberately designed to reflect a character's gender, age, and personality. They are the ultimate shortcut, helping the audience recognize and relate to a character without a single line of dialogue being spoken.
Now for Section 3, the proscenium stage.
Okay, here is an absolutely crucial definition you need to know. The proscenium. Simply put, it's the frame or the arch that surrounds the stage. Think of it like a massive picture frame through which we, the audience, watch the story unfold. It is literally the most popular and commonly used indoor auditorium structure in the world today. It acts as our primary viewing window.
But how did we get inside to that proscenium? Historically, plays were held outdoors during the day, relying entirely on sunlight. If they wanted to perform at night back in ancient times, they had to lug around heavy, dangerous oil lamps. So what was the massive game changer? Electricity and the light bulb. The discovery of electricity allowed directors to control light intensity, and more importantly, it allowed plays to move indoors securely. Suddenly, performances were completely protected from the burning hot sun, freezing winds, and heavy rain.
Let's map out this modern indoor stage so you really understand its geography. On the far edges, we have the side wings. These are those hidden side areas where actors make their seamless entries and exits. Then there's the apron, which is that curved space extending out towards the audience, often holding foot mics and lights. We already touched on the proscenium, that grand architectural frame itself. And finally, the cyclorama. This is a large, usually light blue or white fabric stretched across the very back of the stage to create the beautiful illusion of an endless sky or deep space. Every single zone has a distinct, vital function.
Let's shift gears now. Section 4, conversations and scripts.
There is a fundamental difference between reading a storybook and reading a drama script. A story is typically written as a continuous descriptive paragraph. The author just tells you what's happening. A script, however, is written as dynamic, back-and-forth conversations. Because a drama is a story told in a live format, it is entirely dialogue-driven. The character's words literally have to do all the heavy lifting.
To ground this concept, imagine a super relatable, everyday scenario, a customer and a shopkeeper. "I want a chocolate," the customer says. "What kind?" the shopkeeper replies. It's incredibly simple, sure, but it perfectly captures how a scripted dialogue works in practice. It's a constant, flowing exchange of information and intent.
Which brings us to the formal definition of a conversation. It's an interactive, verbal exchange between two or more people where participants take turns speaking and listening. So the absolute crucial takeaway here is this: that exact turn-taking process is the very engine that drives a theatrical drama forward. It's the beating heart of the action.
And finally, Section 5, Structuring the Story.
Every great script turns the abstract idea of a narrative arc into a tangible, three-step process. Step 1 is the beginning. Who are the characters? Where are they? What do they want? Step 2 is the middle. What is the massive problem they face, and how do they react to it? And Step 3 is the end. Is the problem resolved, and what is the final conclusion? If your script misses literally any of these, the entire structure collapses.
Let's actually apply this to a classic fable we all know: The Hare and the Tortoise. In our beginning step, we firmly established who the characters are. We see they're at a starting line, and their immediate goal is crystal clear. They are preparing for a race. The groundwork is completely laid out.
But a beginning just isn't enough, is it? We need conflict. As defined here, conflict is the struggle or disagreement that creates obstacles and builds tension. In our story's middle, the hare gets arrogant and decides to rest, while the tortoise struggles forward against all odds. Really emphasize that tension in your mind. Without this tension, without obstacles taking the story forward, the audience would get bored out of their minds and just walk right out of the theater.
And that builds directly to our conclusion. The end. The tortoise crosses the finish line. The hare is absolutely shocked and disappointed. We have a clear resolution to the conflict that perfectly satisfies the narrative arc we originally set up in the beginning.
So, we've peeled back every single layer today, from the vibrant makeup and expressive costumes to the layout of the proscenium stage, all the way down to the dialogue and structural backbone of a script. My final question to you is this: now that you know all the elements of the stage, what story are you going to bring to life? Take these tools, get creative, and I honestly can't wait to see what you build. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and as always, keep learning.